as soon as I started with CR, I absolutely understood the approach to pre-thinking, because it was something I'd heard a lot in the past, but I don't think any course helped explain CR or the pre-thinking approach as well as e-GMAT did, and really ingrained in my mind what it was about.
Critical reasoning was helpful in the sense that as someone who's taught physics as an undergraduate, I thought I had a very good grasp on logic, but language has a way of manipulating your mind, and GMAT is particularly good at using language to fool you into thinking that you got the right answer. And I mean, what you guys do is fairly simple, but such a brilliant idea that before you jump into the answers, just stop for a second and think about what the question is asking. And just that extra 5 seconds that you trained me to think about, and just the right questions you trained me to think about, that was enough.
Pre-thinking worked really well. In fact, so well that I felt like it was ingrained after a point, and it became like second nature. And so I really struggled with critical reasoning. I felt like, initially when you look at, the sort of question that GMAT asks, you'll try your hand at a few. And this was before I started e-GMAT. Yeah. I tried my hand at critical reasoning. I got a couple right, got a couple wrong. Never knew why I was getting things right either. It was not something that came instinctively to me. I did not even really understand the fundamental definitions of an assumption or an inference. So I think I'd really focused on the assumption model you guys had. Maybe the first 3 to 4 aspects of the assumption model gave me enough of a foundation to really get the question right. Mm-hmm. And after that, smooth sailing.
And not to mention for CR and RC question, the pre-thinking is totally game changer, because no one ever told me about pre-thinking until e-GMAT. Because without that, it's no way you're going to solve the 700 level questions efficiently within 2 minutes. There's just no way. So okay. That's what felt like it's what makes the difference.
The first time when I wrote GMAT, I understood that instead of spending only 2 minutes, I was spending around 3 minutes on an average in any critical reasoning question. So when I started this e-GMAT course, and they taught me that you have to pre-think the answers. You have to pre-think the assumptions, and assumption is not just for the assumption question. You have to pre-assume what is the assumption in strengthen and weaken question also. And so this strategy I followed, pre-thinking, and before, I think out of 2 minutes, I spent around 1 minute, 10 seconds in understanding what is the question. Understanding and then dividing it into premise and conclusion and reading the question stem. And after taking a proper assumption, then I used to go back and follow POE, process of elimination. And I used to end up always in 2 answer choices, out of which one I used to choose and the other one was ISWAT, which is similarly worded answer. Yes. So this is how I mastered critical reasoning.
The core thing that I had to realize was that I needed to understand the logic behind the question. And once that logic is understood, once the pre-thinking is done, the pre-thinking is what e-GMAT has focused on so much. So, after all that, once you have got the logic correct, it's all about punching in the data and coming at the final answer.
And when I studied, I realized I missed a lot of opportunities during the exam. So those little things, those pre-thinking and getting to know what the passage you were going to say or anticipating what's going to be. And that helped me frame my mindset towards GMAT from going at it like I don't know what they're talking about to, oh, now I know what type of questions would talk about this and what type of mistakes or what type of traps they would have. So that's the most valuable aspect for me.
When I went through your approach for critical reasoning, the approach that you suggested, it completely changed the way I was approaching those questions, and it really helped me to reduce the timings I was spending on those questions.
Okay, give an example.
So to give an example, the way you have approached it is like you pre-think, right? So before going to my options, I have an answer in my mind because I've already pre-thought what all the conditions are there. So instead of getting confused in 3 answers, now I know definitely which of the 3 I have to aim for. So I was pretty confident about critical reasoning because that was my strong point in verbal. But with this approach, it actually helped me reduce my timing, and I could devote those time to my sentence correction and comprehension.